and welcome back to another episode of Exs and Os. Also, actually, bucking around, powered by Exs and Os. Yes, you got
Episode
the usual in the free seats. You got your boy Emeka, aka the Post Bomber. You got my boy SJ, free, fresh home, fresh out of his destination. You know, he's a
just
free man.
I'm free.
What's good?
Free
How
man.
you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing?
You know me. You know how the thing's set.
Busy.
Taking it one day at a time. I have to. You know, I got no other choice, man. Family life. You know, planning around work. It's just non-stop. You know, sometimes I wonder, there's not enough time in the day to do what I want to do. So sometimes,
Adult life, man. Adult life.
I know. Generally, how you been? So you're a free man now. You've finished your university dissertation. How do you feel?
I'm good, man. It means that
Mm.
I get messages from the head coach and everyone else saying what jobs need doing for the team. But yeah, work doesn't stop.
I know.
Work doesn't stop,
I
man. Work
know.
doesn't stop. But
I
I'm
know.
excited for this one. I'm
You
excited
know,
for this
what,
one, man.
what's next for you? Masters, maybe? Potentially doing a masters?
That was the Masters. That's it all
Oh, that was a
done.
master. Oh, mad. Okay,
All done, man.
you're doing over here because I know Brunel. You're part of the furniture, Brunel. So, but
I'm done.
it'd be,
I'm
it'd
done.
be it'd be hard to let you go. It'd be hard
I'm
to let you
done.
go. I
I
know.
am done, man.
I know. You'll miss it though. You miss it after like 2 weeks, and you'll be like, okay, is there any space, for me
Listen,
back in the team?
hey, listen,
Yeah.
if you think I'm doing a PhD, yeah, waffle, absolute
Trust me.
waffle.
Trust me. All right, we got our guests in, anxiously waiting in the waiting room, so we won't keep them too long. But yes, you heard it here first. We are graced, or we are blessed to have the Birmingham Lions representatives on our show, in our Bucking Around show today. As usual, please like, share, subscribe, and share the team. Like I said, we're trying to grow this. Like I said, this is for the uni ballers, by the uni ballers, for the uni ballers. And this is a show where we're trying to connect with the Bucks environment, the Bucks community, and again, just promote the Bucks league at all levels. So if as I said, if you'd like to come on our show, send X's and O's a DM at X's and O's, and we'll try and arrange a date for you to come on the show and talk about your program, talk about the highs and lows, talk about what's working, talk about your experience while playing and coaching.
We
Essentially, we
do.
want to make this show for you guys, and this show is about promoting you guys. So reach out to us, don't be shy, and then we'll get cracking. So we've got the Birmingham Lions on today. Oh, first and foremost, there's a super chat. So we have a super chat. So we're doing it a bit differently again. Like I said, X's and O's, we keep you on our toes. So we moved to a different platform now. So now, fans, you'll be more than happy to know that you can now post questions to our special guest. So feel free to drop, if you want to, drop a question in the super chat, and then we'll endeavor to get round to those. So that's how today's going to go. SJ, anything you want to say to the fans in the free seats?
No, man, this is an exciting one. The Lions are a team I've followed since I started junior 2016. You got explosion events, stuff like that, and I'm excited to see how they do this year. New head coach running
Yeah.
the show. So yeah, I'm excited to have them on.
Yeah. Most def. So how are we doing this? We invited two of the guests on because they you see, they're saying Lions. They flock in a pack. These guys trying to take over. They might try and take over the show. They came here with a full battalion. So who we adding first into the live? I think we got the head coach trying to come first. Nelly with his poker face as usual. So who we adding first?
I think we've got the head coach, president, vice president,
Dope. So
whoever else they want in. It's up to them, man.
who wants to go first? Raise your thumb if you want to come in first. Who wants to go first? Oh, I'm going to pick at random. All four. Oh, okay. Okay, coach. Okay, coach. Okay. So who do you want in, coach? Who's your starting lineup? Yeah.
Noah, Aaron, Geordie.
Let's go. Welcome to Exs and Os, bucking around. And then, yeah, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on the show. I hope the season's been going well. Coach, first and
Yeah, what's
foremost,
up?
congratulations.
Oh, no, I appreciate it.
Congratulations
Thank you.
on taking on this huge burden on your shoulder. Like I said, it's a massive task. It's a massive pressure. So first and foremost, I want to congratulate you for taking the step and giving us hope. Because, you know, an aspiring coach like me, seeing a player like you who's achieved, you know, the heights of football at both GB and domestic level. So, yeah, congratulations on securing that position. And like I said, blessings and all the best for the season. So,
thank you. I appreciate that.
Brilliant. So, Nelly, so coach, can I call you Nelly, or do you want to go to Dustin's coach?
Yeah, no,
okay, cool.
yes, it's all blessed to call me Nelly.
Okay, cool. Now I'm relaxed. All right, Nelly, for those that don't know, introduce yourself to the fans in the free seats. Tell them who you are. Tell them your experience. Tell them your football journey so far.
Okay, sweet. Okay, for those that don't know me, my name's Nelson. I've been playing football now, I believe, for about 6 years. I started out after my internship year. I decided to give American football a go at university. Turned out I was half decent at it. We managed to make it to the semi-final that year. I went to Loughborough University. From there, I managed to get the honor to be selected to be part of the GB squad. So that was a wonderful privilege. So I've now been part of the GB squad for about 5 years, having represented GB in international friendlies, the European Championships, and some international home games. I also play for the adult team, Tamworth Phoenix. I was part of the team that won it back in 2017, and I have been in the final the last 2 of the 3 years, final this year. But we're part of a successful program that's been among the top tier teams in the Premiership. That's my playing career. So in terms of actually coaching, once I graduated in about 2018, for about 2-3 years. So in my first year, I was an assistant linebacker coach, learning the ropes from someone known as Coach Andy Hill, who helped me learn quite a bit. Then the following year, I ended up becoming head of the linebackers. The year after that, I was meant to be defensive coordinator at Loughborough, but that was the COVID year, so unfortunately, that didn't really get to happen. And then just due to circumstances, the fact I'd moved to Birmingham, been in the Midlands, and I was playing with one of the coaches that was senior in the coaching. I was being coached by one of the coaches that was senior in the Lions coaching staff at the time. They approached me about a possible opportunity to be part of the Lions program, and I highlighted to them that for me personally, for me to be interested in the opportunity, I'd want to at least be DC. Knowing for what I hadn't actually had the experience of being a DC, but that's what I wanted to do in terms of me moving forward. They said that was fine by them. So I was DC at Lions last year. And then just to how things are falling out this year, I've now become head coach of the program. So that's a little bit about me.
So far, how's that been going? Because that's a big jump. You know, how's that been going for you so far?
It's been interesting, but life's about challenging yourself and moving yourself to the next stage. You can't let yourself stagnate. So the opportunity arose, and to be honest, like for me personally, initially, I don't think I was even all that interested in being a head coach. Like anyone that's known me in the game knows that like what I really enjoy is like the X's and Os aspect of it, and like coaching the players and getting to know the players. But the only reason I even considered it was like I just heard like an inkling that some of the players thought I might be good for the opportunity. So then I just had to sit down and decide, am I willing to like put the work in and do the work and take on the hassle and the stress that it is to be a head coach? Because I've seen other people be head coaches, and I from outside looking in and not being in the role, but I've been in the role a little bit now. To me, it looks like you get all the stress and none of the fun. Most of the fun is like getting to create your own defense, create your own offense, call plays, or coach your individual unit. But as a head coach, you have to deal with like a lot of admin, a lot of bureaucracy. So it looked to me like all the stress and none of the fun. But they said that I might be willing to, that they thought I might be good for the role. So I sat down and thought to myself, am I willing to put this work in? I told myself yes. And it turns out it's even more work than I expected. But oh well, it's a journey. We learn.
Exactly. We move. Trust me. Yeah, trust me. Brilliant. Noah, so tell us a bit about yourself. It's a 2-minute drill. Don't do some long thing like no, Nelly. I know Nelly can talk. We see the vlogs. We see the vlogs. Everyone knows you can talk, Nelly. Noah, tell us a bit about your journey.
I'll keep it. I'll keep it short. I'm Noah. I'm just going into my 4th year at uni. I've been at Birmingham to my 4th year at Birmingham. Started playing in my 1st year. First time I'd ever played American football. I played rugby my whole life. I'm one of them that had played rugby for ages. But I was always a fan of American football, like watching the NFL, all of that. So I just thought, I'll give it a go. I want to try something different, and I've loved it. Like the last 3 years have been great. The team are just great. Like all the boys there, they're the ones that make you the stick around. It's just like there's such a brotherhood there, sisterhood as well, because we're a mixed team. brotherhood and sisterhood. It's just great. And my playing career so far is just it's been Birmingham Lions the whole way.
Word. Have you enjoyed it so far?
It's been great.
Yeah. Brilliant. Jordy, tell us a bit about yourself. State your claims, state your name, all that jazz.
Yeah, I'm Jordy. I'm going for my third year of university doing biomed. I've always wanted to play American football. It's always been something that I enjoyed watching the NFL. And when I heard about the Birmingham Lions, I knew a few seniors that went to Birmingham and already played in the team. He says it's a great team, you have to join it. And I was grateful to have a chance to start my first year of playing and get Defensive Player of the Year. So quite happy and excited for the next season.
No, that's dope. Aaron, tell us a bit about yourself. State your claim, state your name, state your role. Let's go.
Cool. What do I say? I'm the president of the Birmingham Lions this year. Happy to do it. I love my team. I'm in my 4th year of uni. I started playing in my 1st year. I play defensive end.
Okay.
And I don't know what else to say really.
Hold on, wait. Aaron, are you number 5?
I'm number 5.
Yes. We got some royalty in the building. Damn. So was last season your first season? Just to ask.
No, last season wasn't my first season. It was my first season wearing number 5.
Okay, cool.
But,
okay.
Yeah.
Man, I have to say, man, you got some talent, man. You got some talent. If you keep your head in the game, listen to your coaches, boy, you could definitely cause some damage in the league, and probably, who knows? The ELF, like I said, the sky's the limit. So, like I said, keep pushing. Man, we like what we see. We definitely like what we see. Melly, obviously, this is me and SJ, so we like to ask some questions that you might not expect. Listen,
I'll do my best.
You can see I'm wearing the orange. I'm trying to get Coach Scott's attention. I've been trying for the last 6 months, trying to get Coach Scott's attention. I'm hoping that because there's some familiar blood in here, we might get an appearance from Coach Scott. But like I said, we won't digress. Nelly, I'm here. You got a barbecue coming up.
I've got a barbecue.
Yeah, Birmingham Lions have a barbecue coming up. A taste.
We have a barbecue and tasting sessions coming up. But I'll let the players talk about that more. At the end of the day, although I'm the head coach and I'm at the top of the program, it's the players and it's a committee-led team. A lot of the initiatives that happen are due to the players and the work that they put in. So, we have, because I was thinking when you're talking barbecue, me personally, I ain't got a barbecue going on, but the program has a barbecue going on, but it's not for me to talk about. That's why we've got the players on here to talk about the love and what they do for the program. So
okay, Aaron, I'll ask you then. So this barbecue, is there going to be seasoning?
Of course, there has to be seasoning. It's a barbecue.
You sure?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, cool. Okay, just wanted to check that. I just wanted to throw that curveball. So, guys. So obviously last season, obviously as usual, you guys got to the, you got to the playoffs, and it's been a tough road, since 2015, 16/16. It's been a difficult time for both the Birmingham Lions and in terms of their achievements and success. You haven't really, Birmingham Lions haven't really got to the successes that we're used to seeing. So what is different this season? Obviously, we've got a different coaching staff. We got Coach Nelly at the helm, and we got a different coaching staff, and some of the previous coaches have left. So what's going to be different in a mantra? What's going to be different this season? I've seen some of the hashtags. What is different about the Birmingham Lions this season?
Sorry, is that question to me? Because I
missed the
first part of it.
To you, Nelly. Yeah.
What's different about the Birmingham Lions? Okay, what's different about the Birmingham Lions? Well, as you highlighted, it's a different coaching staff with me at the helm. But what is ultimately different is the way I see it is once you become a head coach of a program, the program is very much within your vision and where you want to progress stuff moving forward. So just by the fact of the nature that there's been a head coaching change, the program is fundamentally going to be different because I do not think the same as the previous head coach or the head coaches beforehand. And one of the key things I'm looking to put forward is that fundamentally my belief, my own personal belief is that the talent we have in Britain is as good as any talent out there. That's my own personal fundamental belief. What they tend to lack is experience. That's obviously going to be taken by the fact that most people don't play this sport till their latter years. A lot of people don't come into this sport till university. And the sport at its heart is quite complex. It's quite complex, and it takes a lot of time to understand what your mistakes are and what you're learning from, and what you need to learn from in order to improve at this sport. So, like, under me at the top, one of the key aspects I'm looking to do is that what I want to do is I want to make Birmingham University Lions basically the #1 program for British athletes and people that want options. Fundamentally, we are a Uniball league, and you go to university, regardless of what many may believe, in order to get yourself a degree, to go out there and better yourself, so that once you finish at university, you're able to prosper and conquer. You go to university to give yourself more options in this life. Now, if you decide to come to University of Birmingham, a wonderful, prestigious university as it is, and you decide to play American football within this program, what myself and the coaching staff that I have will look to do is to help you understand the fundamentals of the game, help you understand how to think about the game, because what's important, what you need to understand, particularly playing this American football sport, is that, like, if you get good at it, the likelihood is you're going to play in a variety of systems. And particularly when you're early on in your career, you don't want to be shoehorned into one type of player, because then in that situation, in reality, what you're beholden to is to what the coach is whether you're useful to the coach, rather than, regardless of what the coach wants to implement, can you be useful to their system? If you make yourself more useful to regard any system that can be in, you give yourself more options in this game, rather than being, oh, I'm dominant in the ball rush, I'm dominant in the rush game, I'm dominant as just a pure one-on-one corner. Because no doubt, if you have talent, coaches can utilize you. That's neither here nor there. But it becomes a situation. What happens when you come against someone better, or you come against someone that is more physically gifted than you? At this point now, you have to use your brain. And if now what you're in the team for it doesn't add value, you realize how quickly suddenly you fall out of favor with the coaches. So it's important that, particularly as you're learning the game newly, that you understand what the fundamentals are, how to think about the game, and how to understand the logic of the game. Because fundamentally, the game is no different whether you're playing it here in the Adult Ball League, the Uniball League, ELF, internationally. The game is the same. So understanding and having a strong way of having to think about the game and how to deal with problems, I think is fundamentally important. So that's how it's going to be different, basically. What I will value is understanding, from my viewpoint, British talent is as good as any talent. What you lack is experience. I will try and teach you the fundamentals of how to think about this game and experience. And then let's see how we can go. In my eyes, we can definitely prosper and conquer in this. So that's how it's going to be different. I hope that's answered your question. I missed the first half, but that's my viewpoint to it.
With you guys, with like culture of the team and stuff like that, this is to all of you guys. Who does that fundamentally lie with? Is that you?
Sorry, it broke up there. I only heard.
Oh yeah. So what I was saying is that with the culture of the team, is that something that will change a lot this year that we've seen from previous years, or is that something that lies more with the players rather than the coach? That's this for all of you guys to actually answer in some way.
Okay, cool, fair enough. I'll let the players answer that quickly, and then I'll jump in once they give their own viewpoint to it.
No, what do you think?
Me? Well, I think compared to last year, we've got an almost identical team. We haven't lost that many people, so I think we've still got that like core group of players. So culture-wise, I can't see it changing that much, because we all know each other. Obviously, we got rookies coming in this week, 'cause it's Freshers Week, but we all know each other, and we all love each other within the team. So I can't see it changing that much, and I like where it is with what we got.
I'd say as well, culture-wise, in terms of people who have left and departed, it's not like they've just left. They've left us with something. So, if anything, any shift in the culture is just going to be like building upon what's already been there. And then, of course, under a new vision, under Nelson, I only see the culture strengthening and becoming closer to that Apex Beast kind of mentality. So that's what I'm seeing around.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. What does that mean, Apex? Because I know it sounds like a Nelly. Nelly, what did you study at uni, if you don't mind me asking? Philosophy or something? Because every time I feel like I go for a bit more. Like what did you? I'm joking. What is this Apex? So I put this to the players. What does being an Apex Beast mean to you?
I feel like I can answer that in some way. So like, in terms of my background, especially when I started like playing American football, it's not something that I expected myself to play. For me, being an Apex Beast isn't even about. It's like you know, like the Ray Lewis video where like he says, the lion is this, the lion's that. He's not the biggest, the strongest, the fastest. It's the mentality, and for me, that's what the Apex Beast is. It's like if I'm going into a tackle, I'm going into any kind of game situation, especially this year. Above all, the main point for me to like grow is to have that mentality that I'm coming out on top and I'm winning the situation, and that's what it means to me.
Dope. That's deep. Okay, we got some questions in there. We got some. Like I said, this show is very. It's very. You see, the fans are loving the Birmingham Lions. Man, you guys are killing our views. We're actually. Thank you. I just want to say thank you because the views are very mad. Anyway, we see you in the free seats fans with the super chats. So we got Eddie Onamade saying defensive MVP Geordie. So you got a fan there. We got Milo. Shout out Milo Wakefield. It says QB1. Noah Murray. LFG. What's LFG?
We can't say that on camera.
You can't say a camera. Damn. Okay.
Let's flip and go. We'll
okay, let's flip and go. Okay, Milo Wakefield again says, Aaron, how do you forget about going into the Southern All Stars? Bro.
It's just one of those things that happen, man.
Bro, here you go. We got X's and Os. X's and Os. This is not me. That's a good question, X's and Os. How are you guys going to deal with some of the big names such as Eddie Onamade and Timmy Oyalaja leaving? These are some of the weapons that you guys have relied on for a year or 2 years, and obviously these guys came in and literally walked into this, fit into the squad and gelled into the squad. So, Coach, I'm going to put this to you. How are you going to deal with some of these weapons, the loss of some of these weapons, such as Eddie and Timmy?
Well, those are two very talented individuals, and like obviously they're going to have some knock-on effect in terms of the squad. But to be honest, it's part of the nature of Uniball. Like Uniball, just by its nature, people come to university after 3-4 years at the max, they're going to graduate. And it's great that they were part of the program. I hope and I believe that they gain something from the program and they offer something back to the program. But in the nature of the uni game, there are always stars that come and there are always stars that are going to be born. So yes, we've lost Eddie and Timmy, but it's a new year, new season, new opportunities for people to show what they've got, showcase that they can step up to the plate. So how are we gonna replace them? We can't replace them, but that's not what it's about year to year. It's about getting talent, nurturing talent, and showing them what level they can achieve and play. Even if it's the case where they might not believe in themselves, as long as we as the coaching staff see it in them and help them understand. All we're asking you is that when opportunities come your way to take them, I don't have any problems or any worries about the fact that we've lost two wonderful players in Eddie and Timmy, but there are many players that come and gone from the program, but the program still exists and it will still continue to exist moving forward.
Wow, Coach.
Yes.
Now we got you warmed up.
Oh, okay, my bad. Fair enough.
You know what I'm going to ask you. The rumors have been pending. Okay. The community's been talking.
Okay.
I need I don't want no political answer like Tonya gave when we put him on the ropes. So we know originally we've heard the community
I don't know
heard.
Okay, fair enough.
That
what grapevine? Okay.
That Filton was supposed to play you for the explosion game. That's what we've heard.
Heard from where? What sources? You can't just be quoting rumor mill here, there, disreputably, and then be saying we heard this, heard that. What sources? Explain to me your sources.
A wise man once told me, "What's understood doesn't need to be explained, bro. Doesn't need to be explained, Cole." So I'm asking you.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so wait. Let's just go into that. Sorry. A wise man once told you, "What's understood doesn't need to be explained." I don't understand. That's why you need to explain it. I'm baffled.
You're baffled.
Yeah.
Originally, we've heard there were rumors.
From where? You keep saying we've heard because I'm in the program. I haven't heard this information, so I'm trying to understand. Where have you heard this?
Okay. How about we rephrase it? How do you select who you're playing in Explosion? Is that normally the first home game of the season, or is it kind of what works best for you guys in terms of scheduling, or when do you have the time to do it? Essentially,
it's chosen on a variety of factors, and I'll let the players explain this more, because fundamentally the committee ends up deciding when the game is. But it's chosen a variety of factors. And even when I came and joined the program last year, to my understanding, I was similar. I thought, Explosion is always the first home game of the season, but it was very quickly explained to me that Explosion has traditionally been, and it has been the case, where it can be either the number 1 or number 2 home game. And it might be the case, but it's complete that it might even be something else, because, as I said, I've only been at the program for 1 year. Like, I came in brand new. So, which is also why I was even pressing on this, like, where's this rumor mill coming from? Because if I'm in the program and I'm getting told this, and you're telling me this grapevine saying, it should have been XYZ for whatever reason. No, but there are a variety of factors. It can be, to my understanding, any of the first 2 home games, and I'll leave it to the committee members to explain to you as to which game it is. But just before I pass it on, just quickly, we've got another member that's going to join in with us on this program. So Geordie's going to drop off, and when the member joins, I'll let her to have a brief introduction of herself, and then we can continue.
So, welcome, Emily. Apologies for keeping you waiting. I was going to kick out the head coach, but I said, let me just let him say his thing. You know, this is for the players, by the players. You know, the head coach is not allowed, but I'm joking. Welcome, Emily. For those that don't know, tell people who you are, tell people what you do, and tell people you're part of being the Birmingham Lions family.
Hi, I'm Emily. I've been playing American football for nearly a year. It'll be like a year coming up soon. Started in my second year at uni, got approached by a girl who said that she was 5-time national champion at the Freshers Fair for American football. She wasn't, she had never played it before, but she convinced me she had, so I came along and then joined, and then I play wide receiver, gonna dabble more within running back, and I long snap a little bit. However, they're a bit spontaneous on themselves, but only playing nearly a year.
How you find it? How you finding the team? How you find the camaraderie? How you getting on?
It's really good. Like, I've had different experiences with different teams. So at uni, I feel like I get pushed in different ways than I do with the women in sevens, because sevens is so different. Like, I can't say I love sevens, but you just learn something new. And then so the men's team, it's just like you've got people that have been playing for years and have loads of experience, and then you've got people that are like me that had also just started out. So like having loads of different coaches as well, coaches coming and going, they've all got their own different experiences and like ways of teaching, and I think that's really valuable as well, because you learn so much from every coach. Like I've just learned a lot, so it's good.
I was at the IFAF Women's Championships, you know, and I saw the GB Lions mash work. Is GB potentially something you're aspiring to, maybe one day, to get into the GB squad? Is that something that, after seeing the ladies literally smash it in the world, are you looking?
Wait. Sorry. Have we been putting in our work? Is it something she's aspiring to, or is it you were at the IFAF Championships? Yeah.
Coach, I think I'm about to kick you out. You know, we've all
but like, I need to interject here, because you're asking her if it's something she aspires to. Yeah. But in reality, she was there.
You're joking.
She was part of the squad. She was part of the squad. She was there.
My apologies, Emily. My head is in 4 or 5 different places. So after the GB, during the IFAF World Championships, tell people about your experience. Tell people what it was like. You know, tell people about your experience. In fact, tell them about the work Exs and Os put in. Just to fire back at you, coach. Tell them about the work. In fact, tell them about the vibe the Exs and Os brought. I'll wait.
You got there. I don't know if you were there for Canada, but you were definitely there towards the end. I remember having to do some weird quick fire questions, which I'm not so good on the spot. I'm not good at this sort of thing, but they were good fun. You definitely like bring in the character, and the London Warriors girls, like it's all lively and it's fun. So I was there. I was a small part, so I don't blame you for not knowing who I was. But number 2.
Forgive me. My mind was in different places. I was filming. I was directing. Yeah. Hey. Shout out! The vlog is coming out soon. I might now. Coach has annoyed me. I might not release it. No, I'm joking. I won't. But that was an amazing experience. It was for me. It was one of probably the best competition experiences I've been part of. I think the women's game is at a higher level than a lot of people expect. And let's not kid anyone here. There's a lot of men out there that don't respect the female game. And I challenge any male out there, if you don't respect the female game and you don't respect the capabilities of females, go to a game. Turn up to a game, turn up to a championship, get out of your seats and go to a game and see the talent and the elite level that these women are playing at. So it was for me, it was one of my bucket list experiences. I mean, filming it, the vibe, the whole of the GB women's vibe was mind blowing. The connection they had was mind blowing, and obviously for me, the experience as a in terms of being part of the media was a life changing. So it was a great advert for the game. Not forget about whether it's female or male, for the British game. It was a magnificent advert. So Emily, welcome to the bucking around. So Lenny, we're gonna kick you out yet, or do you wanna?
I don't know why you want to kick me out. I'm just making sure that we continue the standards of Exs and Os I love. I'm a fan also, so there's no need to kick me out. I'm here for the good time that we're gonna experience. I hear you. Brilliant. So we've got a couple questions in the super chat, so we'll try and get through some of those. Tonya's in the building as usual. Tonya, we appreciate your support as usual. He says, "Why am I catching strays?" I have no idea, Tonya, but I hope we'll find out why you're doing that throughout the rest of the show. Sanjeev, shout out Sanjeev. Number 1 says Geordie. Geordie's gone, so we won't look into that. So let's go back to this explosion justification, and let's pause. Emily, I want to know what you think. So there was a rumor going. I don't know if you heard. There's a rumor going around that the original explosion game was Filton versus the Birmingham Lions, and strategically, the game suddenly disappeared. What's your view on that?
Well, at uni in the committee, I'm treasurer, and this year we've because there's been a new coaching staff. Normally, in previous years, the coaches have taken, I wouldn't say responsibilities, they've taken their responsibilities with certain things, and they've led and helped the committee through things because they've either been ex-Lions or they've been around for a long enough time of all of this. Whereas this year with a new coaching staff, we're all new to the committee as well. Although I've been around for a year, I'm still in my perspective new to American football, and I think a lot of these guys are still trying to there's going to be teething problems. They're going to be trying to get underway, and for us, we've got new kit. We've got a new sponsor of New Balance at uni, so we're getting rid of Player Layer, getting New Balance, and I think for us, we're a big team. We've got away and home game kit that we need to get. That is also a big thing of when that's coming in. And for Explosion, one of the things was it's obviously streamed and loads of people see it. Yeah. We want to make sure that we're in that kit. We want to make sure that the kind of teething problems by that point are soothed out a bit. And another thing is it's really near firework night, and we want Explosion to be as great as it always has been, but with fireworks and all of this fun stuff that makes it feel so special. And so we're going to try, it's in the works, but we're going to try and pair it with some sort of Explosion firework vibe of that. So we're it's in the works. It's nothing's confirmed, but it's being planned. But for Nelson or Aaron's more person to speak to, I'm just the.
I'll let Aaron speak on it. Yeah. Head of
just on that. Obviously, you're the treasurer. American football is it's an expensive sport. We all know this. What are do you feel as a treasurer, the university, in Birmingham, support American football? Do you feel like there's your face change? Do you feel like there's an unlimited supply of money? Is funding an issue? Because we know that historically, Birmingham Lions literally are successful with a limited amount of resources. You don't have a lot of scholars that come in from the States and or scholars that come in from across the globe, but you still manage to year in year out get to the playoffs. Is money an issue within a BUCs?
I think money is an issue with every sport in uni because it's all funded by players normally. Like, I can't speak for every union, I can't speak for every team. For us, it's always been, we pay our game fees, we pay our club fees, and that is almost, it's self-run from that. You've got to pay for the pitches, all the game, like hire, referees, medical staff, all of that. So you need help, they give a grant. Would I say the grant's amazing? It's definitely not. Like, you'd love more. Money always helps us, like, it make you be able to do lots of different things. We'd have more luxuries of how we travel, whatever. But we're gonna make do, and we always have. And like, there's gonna be issues. There's always gonna be little bumps in the road. But that's why you've got a team, and like, we'll tackle it all together. So I'm not worried. It'll be fine.
And just briefly to add on to what Emily said, like, your question fundamentally came down to is the uni supportive of us, the program and the vision, and the uni is supportive of that. As she highlighted, you can always have more money. If you have more money, there's more things you can do. But the uni offers us a grant, it offers us support in a variety of ways, and the uni is there giving us backing in order to continue to be as successful as we have been, to push on forward. Yes, are we millionaires? No, we're not. But is the uni there supporting us, aiding us financially, and with other aspects that the Uni of Birmingham can offer? Yes, they are.
So on the note of money, because for people that, I have to say, I've been to Explosion twice, and I've been twice, and
4 times.
4 times.
Come on.
Damn. Okay, between us, we've been 6 times, and I have to say, for those who haven't been, you need to go. You need to go to Explosion this year, because it is a spectacle and an event that's run by university ballers, uni ballers, and it is fantastic. It is absolutely amazing. I just want to ask you, Emily, if you know, how much does it cost for Explosion to happen, roughly? Just roughly.
I actually couldn't. We've got ballpark figures from loads of different years. It really depends, kind of what kind of things you want in the works. Last year we had those like fire kind of things as we flew up, like, because we couldn't use fireworks because of the Commonwealth hockey games. So I don't know if that made it more expensive last year or not. But it's not cheap. But it never is. So you've still got to hire the pitch. You've still got to do all of. So you've got the normal game day fees anyway. But obviously you're making it streamed. You've got, because there's such a big interest as well. Sometimes we get sponsors, like we can get sponsors from different food companies. They want to come down because we're giving them an opportunity to kind of sell their food, and they then will help us with, like, sometimes they'll pay off, then they'll pay for the fireworks, or there's different things. So you can't really give a ballpark figure because it changes so much. And this year we've got a budget set, and we're going to aim for that.
What's the budget?
Got more.
That will not be disclosed here today.
That will not be. Listen. I'm just going to put it. Someone on the super chat said, Nelly for Prime Minister. Hey,
I'm finished. Wow, man.
Nelly, I'm about to kick you out. I can't lie. You know, Exs and Os were raw and were uncut. Emily,
we are raw and uncut, and they're giving their raw and uncut opinions, but there are certain things that will not be disclosed, and I will highlight that.
I hear you. That's fine. I'm joking. I'm just messing. I'm just putting your name. Okay, so but the budget this season is high. Is there anything that we can expect this season? Is there going to be a live line that's going to come out? Is there going to be a real line that's going to come out and run across the what you call it? That you make like a parade, like before you come in your intro. Is there going to be a line that's going to run out with the team? What's going to be? Give us a little bit of a hint of what we can expect this season for in Explosion.
Can you get a hint?
Sorry.
There you
I don't
go.
know
That's the next
Again?
thing.
You're just gonna have to come and watch, then you might find out.
Damn. You've heard it here first. Like I said, I don't know if SJ shares the same sentiment, but I have to say, I commend those the students in the past that have rallied around to make Explosion happen. I think Explosion is an advert to what other university teams should be doing. I think if we had each university doing an event like that that's run by students, not. I want to emphasize that this is run by students. I think it's non-negotiable, and I think. In fact, I want to ask you: would you guys, as a team, I don't know, Noah, would you, as a committee, be open to sharing some of that knowledge to other teams if they came to you and said, "How do you project manage in a big event like this without BAFA support, without probably BUCs support?" You know, would you be willing to host maybe a conference or a webinar to detail, you know, the planning for such a big event?
I mean, yeah. I mean, like you said, it's a great event, but it's also our event. It's for. But I mean, I know what you mean. It'd be great if we could get if like other unis put on similar things. But I mean, we've never done it before as a committee. This is our first time. We've got our first meetings in the next next week. Like we're gonna start going like through the process of getting it, like getting the ball rolling. But I mean, there are years of committees gone past who have done it before. So I mean, yeah, I mean, a team of ex-committee members who have done it before. Obviously, once we've done it as well this year, we'll be able to like give our 2 cents on what to do. But no, I'd agree with that. Is get like trying to get other unis to do something similar. Like I'd be happy personally to give tips and tricks on like how to go about it.
Yeah. What would you say is like, or for Nelly or Emily, what would you say is like the hardest part about planning Explosion? What's the one thing that is always difficult or difficult to arrange, or was difficult to arrange last year?
Unfortunately, I don't think any of us can really give you a great answer on that, because this committee is all brand new, and fundamentally, just due to the nature of my role last year, I didn't take a key stake in organizing or sorting out Explosion. So with that being the nature, I can't really tell you what is the most difficult part to it, what is the easiest part to it, because fundamentally last year, similar to the members here, they were all basically part of the experience.
Right. Okay. I see. Okay. So Nelly, a question for you now.
Okay. You know what?
There's going to be a lot of pressure on you, and I'm sure you already know this. I'm sure you read those comments about diamonds are made from pressure, and those comments about people coming in, do players make good coaches? Do great players like yourself have what is there a correlation between great players and success in the coaching level? And a lot of people say there isn't. Like great players don't know how to be great coaches. So for you, what are you looking for as a coach in terms of your player? What type of player do you look for? What's your philosophy? But mainly, what type of player do you look for?
The kind of player I look for is someone that's got an inquisitive mind, that's willing to put in effort, that's willing to put in work, and that wants to ask questions, particularly at the university level. Because fundamentally, the way I look at it is that, like, as Emily highlighted, a lot of these uni teams, you're paying to be part of this program. So, like, it's not like necessarily school or work, when in essence, like, you have to be here to do something. Like, you're making a conscious decision to be part of this program and to be part of this community, to be part of this this gathering. And so with that being the case, make the most out of it. From my viewpoint, I will never make it seem like it's by force for you to be here, like, because it's not. Fundamentally, you're paying for a service. So yeah, make the most of it. So that's what I'd want. I want effort, an inquisitive mind, open mind, and a willingness to put in work. Because for me personally, one of the great beauties of American football, I personally believe, is that, like, it's a sport that genuinely anyone can play. Like, genuinely anyone can play. There are only two key things in American football: being able to tackle, or having a willingness to tackle, being able to block, and having a willingness to block. And fundamentally, those really come down to being taught a skill set, a fundamental skill set. But in reality, it comes down to mentality. Do you have the mentality to go out there and lay someone out? Do you have the mentality to, when someone looks like, oh, they can't take anymore, for you to go put in that work and let them know, well, you're here on the field, so unfortunately, you're going to get dominated? Do you have that mentality to understand it's a no mercy sort of thing? If you do, 100%, like, you can be taught. Like, I just genuinely believe that everyone has strengths and weaknesses. Myself, great players, bad players, we all have strengths and weaknesses. what is fundamentally important is once you understand a reasonable way of thinking of the game and understand how to do your job, or what are your cardinals in order to think about the game in a logical sense, it is then important to understand what your strengths and weaknesses are. Play to your strengths and have your team cover your weaknesses. Don't shoehorn yourself into being a one-dimensional player, particularly early on, because like if you do that, it will only lead to you having problems later on. What happens when you come up against someone, if your basis is being the strongest or being the quickest, being the nimblest, what happens when you come up against someone that beats you in that aspect? Because fundamentally, you still got to get your job done. You still got to get your job done. So it's important to not only think, oh, what are my great strengths? What are my weaknesses? And be open to a willingness of how to think about the game. Because like coming from a defensive viewpoint, my belief on defense is that fundamentally, like I only need to be half as good as the offensive player. And in most cases, defenses stereotypically, I'm not saying it's always the case, stereotypically tend to have the more athletic players. So if I only need to be half as good and we stereotypically have the more athletic players, in a situation where I come against someone that's athletically better than me, this is where the true fun can begin. Because it puts to the test. I only have to be half as good. All I've got to do is be able to do my job. If everyone else is able to do their job, we're gonna have a fully functioning defense. So fundamentally, I just need someone that has a belief in themselves, willing to put in the effort, has an inquisitive mind, and I can show you the potential that you have in this game. That's it.
So that's deep. That's dope.
So I guess I got a couple of questions. So let's talk about this season coming up. You know, it's a very different landscape in terms of who you've got coming into that division. You know, how do you think you can compete against the likes of UE, who, you know, Aaron, you've been here for what, 4 years now? This is your 4th year. So you've essentially been there for the entire rise of UE. I know guys that were part of your team in your first year, some that I now coach with as well. And it's always an interesting topic with them is, what's the goal for this year? Obviously, the aim goal is UE is the biggest hurdle. How do you think you guys can get past that one? Coach, this might be one for you to answer as well, but as a committee as well, what do you guys think you can do?
Fair enough. Well, from my viewpoint, if the committee want to add, from my viewpoint, it's interesting because like UE being the largest hurdle, that's an external viewpoint, that's a media viewpoint. That's not my concern at all, like zero. Fundamentally, like at the end of the day, it's about getting to playoffs, progressing through playoffs, looking to get to the final, and then looking to win it. So looking at UE as though they're the be-all and end-all, to me is a waste. It's a waste of time, a waste of effort, because like there are just so many other priorities. As I've said, like what generally tends to be the case is that players don't have experience, and it's difficult to teach players how to be good at this game in a very short period of time against people who have been playing this game for years. So why would I waste the limited time and resources I have thinking about a possible opponent when several teams get to a definite opponent, when we play them weeks in the future, when several teams get to the playoffs, and at the end of the day, it's about how you finish, not how you start. So to cut a long story short, UE is not a hurdle in the program's mind. In my mind, it's a hurdle in the eyes of external lookers and possibly the media, but it's not my focus. Generally, I don't really care, and that's how I see it.
So then, what do you care about then? So
what do I? Okay.
Because you must care about Philly. You must care. You must care. You must worry about Philly because they're a good team.
Hey, let's not talk about pride, because I'm in the same boat as probably coaches on this. This next game, particularly with Pride, having played against them, they're good, but like you said, the media are making them out to be better than they actually are in my
I was about to say, like, what can I say to this one, America? Like, you just literally heard my logic on the UWE, and then you bring up Pride. Like, I don't want to repeat myself, to be honest, but like, they may be good, they may not be good. I've never played them. To my understanding, this is the first time they got into the Premiership. That's to my understanding. I might be wrong. Like, let me know what the information is out there. But I've never played them. They may be great, they may be bad. I don't know. Like, when we play them, we'll find out. I wish them all the best, but genuinely, they're not my focus. I couldn't really care until it comes to the game week where we have to deal with them.
Yeah.
I think obviously the main goal of this season is obviously to win. Everyone wants to win. We want to win that now. Are there any other goals you guys have as a team? You know, for example, you've got All-Stars. You know, you guys had some great players there this year for that. Is that a goal potentially?
Sorry, I broke up slightly. So the main goal of the season is to win. Sorry, continue.
It's obviously to win, the natty, but is there any other goals? Is it whether it's sending players to GB, sending them to All Stars? Birmingham had a great presence at All Stars last year. You had the likes of Milo, a couple of other guys there as well. Is that something that you're potentially looking to ship players to as well?
I think that's a byproduct of, and winning arguably becomes of this also. The main goal is to fundamentally coach and nurture these players so that they have a sound understanding of the fundamentals and how to implement them in games. And if our process is good enough at doing that, and we correct the mistakes that they will inevitably make, a byproduct of that is that we will win consistently and regularly. A byproduct of that is that we will have great players. A byproduct of having great players is that they will make it into these teams, such as the all-star teams, the GB teams, and they'll be able to flourish in those teams, even though they will not necessarily be running the same scheme we run, offensively, defensively, maybe special teams, because they have their fundamentals are sound, and they're able to think of the game in such a way that it can translate into different schemes and so on and so forth. So the main goal here is to take players in, bring them in, to help them understand what the key fundamentals of playing this sport are, how to think about this sport, and a byproduct of that is that we will be successful on the pitch, and you will be successful personally in terms of moving through the different levels of this game.
Cool. So I'll speak to the committee on this one. So your brand new committee, is there any barriers you've encountered that you potentially didn't think was going to happen before? I've sat on a committee for a few years myself, so I know it is tough. It can be stressful. But Aaron, is there anything as the president that you didn't expect to have to handle?
It's a weird question. Like, you sat on the committee yourself, so like I feel like one thing you'd understand is like everything that happens is almost like, oh, you didn't really expect it. I'm not fazed by anything though. I feel like that's just the nature of the job. Anything that comes, you deal with it. It's just like an extension of football, really. Anything that comes, you deal with. So yeah, I'm not like, there's nothing that stands out to me above and beyond like that's like troubled me greatly. You know what I mean? Everything that you roll with the punches, and that's what we do as a committee.
Is that the same with you two as well, or?
Yeah, I guess one hurdle we had this year that hasn't been there in other years is the new kit that Emily mentioned earlier. So we've just switched to New Balance as like our kit provider for the uni, and so we needed a whole brand new playing kit, like home and away strip. And obviously with us, like an American football squad is huge. Like there's a lot of people. We need lowers, we need jerseys, we need all of it. And so I think that was one hurdle that we worked out over the summer. But yeah, we've got sponsorships, we've been able to fund it, and yeah, we've got a nice, good-looking kit coming on the way.
Can you get a sneak peek? Is that something you can send? You're going to send us over it afterwards?
Kit reveals will be coming in due course.
Okay. What we having like a proper media photo shoot or something? You guys having a media photo shoot or media day for the kit launch or?
I can't disclose any of that.
Okay.
Your eyes peeled on.
Shout out hashtag Nelly for Prime Minister. He's probably got you guys media trained. But listen, this is me and SJ's show. We will eventually break through. We always do. But let's get through some of the super chats. We've got shout out Austin Morby says hashtag Lions Pride. Man, you guys have so many fans. This has been amazing. Obi says, "Be the hammer." Yeah, I know. You've seen the vlog where Coach Nelly's like, "Be the hammer, not the nail. Be the hammer. Have no mercy for these people." Say it for the. I can't lie. I kind of cried when I was editing that, but we move on. Eddie Onamadi says, "I heard that all the graduates left with at least a 2-1 last year." Damn.
That's a good question, actually. That's one of the questions I wanted to ask. Is how much emphasis do you get put on players to focus on their academics as well? Because I think it's very easy. I don't know if it's because of the uni I went to, but for a burner to finish in 3 years and do their course on time was rare. Now, is that something that you guys look at? Is making sure people focus on their academics as well as the football, or they're not getting
that is definitely a focus in the program, and that's something that even I, who came in last year, noted. Like, so part of the mantra that was part of the club was more than football, and part of that aspect is to understand that, like, which is historically what it has been, more than football, is to understand that, like, yes, football's important, and yes, we prioritize, and that's what we're here for. but fundamentally understand that like there's more to life than football. Like football can teach you some very good life skills, characteristic traits, interaction traits, but once football is said and done, you will have to continue in life. And I know as a fact, it has been a focus on interacting with the players, having termly sit downs with them, understanding where they're doing with uni, understanding where their heads at, how they're doing, how we can help them improve. So that was definitely something I saw when I was lower down, and it's going to be part of the things I look to continue, which is why I highlighted in my vision that like fundamentally what I want is for us to become the #1 program for British athletes and people that want options. So fundamentally, as I said, you come to uni to get your degree, to give you more options, to prosper and conquer in this world. And I won't take away from that. Yes, football is important. You're joining to be part of the football. But fundamentally, that is what you're here at university. So there is no value in winning a natty and then flunking out of university. There is no value to that in my eyes. If that's what we end up being as a program, we are a failure of a program in my eyes. Some may see that as success because fundamentally you're here to coach the team, but I wouldn't. So it's important that people understand that being good at American football will give you another option. And if you're particularly good, you might end up going out, getting paid and do that. But understand that the main reason you came to university was to get a degree in order to help you have more options to prosper and conquer in this life. If you also be good at football, that's wonderful. And that can give you a different option. You might go, okay, I've got my degree, but I'm not going to utilize it right now. I might go play ball abroad for a little bit, make a little bit of money, see the sights, and then come back. But yeah, no, achieving academically and being an all-round good person is important. And Eddie, who highlighted that point, I know he was very appreciative, and he's always very very forthcoming with wonderful notes about some of his previous head coaches and people that helped mold him. So I know that's very important.
Yeah, would you go on?
Yeah, now just that, as I said, a big part of that kid's vision and like keeping that within the culture of the club is that idea that if you're conquering on the field, in my mind, or at least the culture of the club is how you can't conquer on the field and then not be able to conquer in every other area of your life. I feel that's what you're getting here at Birmingham. That's what is the culture here. So yeah, that just can't really apply to us.
Jeez, Aaron moving like Obama. Damn. Please. Listen, let's get deeper now because we know the season is fast approaching. Emily, this one's for you. Obviously, you were. Let me fact check before I get in trouble again. Emily, you were at the Birmingham Lions last year. Can I safely say that? Yeah. Okay, fine. That's what it. Because I know our Prime Minister here, Nelly for Prime Minister, is fact checking me. Because
I'm just trying to help you guys maintain the standard you guys have set, and I've enjoyed. So that's all I'm trying to do.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We are forever indebted. Anyway, moving on. Emily, so you had practices last year. I want to ask you, what was the vibe like? Generally, what was the intensity like? You know, how many of the guys did you truck? How many guys did you spin move? How many guys did you? In fact, how many ankles do you have in your pocket at the moment? But just generally, what was the vibe like? You know, how did you feel in practices? You know, is this for you a championship, potentially championship winning team?
I think the mentality at training is always like in the right headspace. Like it's always intense. I didn't track anyone personally. I was very slow progression, I feel, but also I'm on offense, so when you have time to do that anyway. But I just think we as a team, as cringe as it is to say, it feels like a family, and definitely like the through the year you definitely feel it more. People have each other's backs. Like if there's injuries, if there's anything going on in other people's lives, there's always a lion there to help, whether that's in the past, like people that are no longer with us at uni, but a previous lion, like some of the coaches have helped me personally in lots of different scenarios. And I think, I don't know, I think if you've got your headspace in the right, and if you've got your head in the right space, you could achieve anything. So what's to say we couldn't get to the finals? But definitely. I don't know. I didn't answer that very well, but
that's good. No, you did that definitely. Just want to ask. So for a young, maybe for a girl looking to jump in the sport at uni, she's at Freshers Fair. She's seen you guys in the store. What would you say to a girl that's new to the sport or considering playing American football? what kind of advice would you give them before? Because I know before I started playing, I was frightened. My first training session, I couldn't sleep. You know, I contemplated whether it was worth my life going to the first practice. You know, for you as a woman, what was it? What would you advise to another woman looking to play the sport? Because essentially, what we're trying to do is kind of grow the game, the female game, and increase female participation both at uni. So, what would you say to people who are kind of ladies who are umming and ahhing about playing?
Well, even today we went out on campus, and it's Freshers Week, so there's lots of freshers on campus, and we're giving out flyers for the taste sessions at the end of the week, and kind of anyone that would give you a second look, or because we were in our kit, so we're going to get looks. Like, not everyone knows what American football is. I'd say especially females, because I didn't even know, never touched American football before, and I came with no idea of what to expect or anything. And so people I've been able to have conversations with, and we've got Freshers Fair tomorrow. If you enjoy sport, if you want to try something new, kind of don't have any expectations is the best thing, because you can, in my opinion, you're only going to be surprised, because American football is so kind of uniting, and there's positions for everyone. Like, if you're not the quickest person, there's going to be a position for you. If you are the quickest person, there is. And like, I just think I had conversations with girls today, and I just said, well, just come along to the taster sessions and try it. You might not like it, but it might be the best thing you've ever done, because it's been the best thing I've done. So you just don't know until you try. And I think a lot of people actually, I was surprised today of how many people were actually interested. And I think definitely from last year that there wasn't any girls in the team, even though it says it's a mixed sport, which is one of the reasons I joined, because I thought, let's give it a go. It's one of those things, like, kind of, you're not seeing a role model in this area, like, kind of, let's be that person. And then I feel like that's going to help this year. So yeah, it will, fingers crossed that we get quite a big uptake of that, but it's looking good so far. Yeah.
Aaron, how many sacks are you looking for this year? I know you're hungry. I know you're hungry for more. How many sacks you targeted this year? Trying to break that record? What's the current record, if you know, about for the Birmingham Lions in terms of sacks?
I'll be honest, I actually don't know the current record.
No, okay.
I personally, first and foremost, I feel like everyone's hungry. That's what the team is. Beasts were hungry. We've been waiting for summer. The season is upon us. But individually, I don't know. I'd like double digits. Yes, put it out there.
Any message for Filton or UWE?
Or if they're double digits, that means I have to get on every game I play. So.
Jeez. No, any messages or don't worry, coach, you're not allowed to speak. I'm going to mute you now. Any messages or love letters for UWE or Filton?
Nah. Looking forward to that. That's about it. We can only control what we do. Like, we can't. Right. We're not going to worry ourselves with what's going on with other programs. We've got our program. We're concentrating on that. And we're going to work within ourselves to be the best we can be. And if that's better than them, it is. So,
Coach, have you got any like scrimmages planned or anything like that planned before the season starts? And who are the teams?
In terms of scrimmages, no, at the moment we don't have any scrimmages planned, and just due to the nature of the time in which I picked up the head coach role and the amount of time I had to sort stuff out, and with me being very new to the role, scrimmages has not been one of my priorities. Basically, getting my head in, making sure that with everything being new to me, that I establish what my priorities are, understand what I can anticipate, and look to have a plan in front of it, so that the stuff I can't anticipate, just because you don't know what you don't know, I'm able to roll with. So so currently we don't have any scrimmages in the plans. We're always open to any teams that want to reach out and talk to us. We're always open to entertain the idea and to discuss with them. But there's no scrimmages, and it hasn't been a priority for mine since I've taken up the role.
So your first game schedules out? Schedules are out?
Yeah,
First game is
UEA.
Okay. What are you thinking?
What am I thinking? Well, I'm thinking it's a long way away. So that's what I'm thinking. But they've been stalwarts in the Prem South for quite some time. I'm sure it'll be a tough game. They'll have good players. They'll have a well worked scheme. They'll be putting in the work in the training, similar to us. And it'll be an interesting way to gauge how we start the season. So I'm looking forward to the game once it comes our way. But although to be fair, one of the things I have been interested in is, to be honest, is like obviously the schedules come out and it's been a long time, and I don't want to go on a tangent and rant, to be honest.
No, you're allowed to.
Obviously, in different sports, when there are international fixtures, there are bye weeks.
Okay.
But obviously, with the case there being European qualifiers for the GB squad, unfortunately there isn't a bye week that weekend. But there'll be many players, and I'm not even speaking of myself, but I'm just speaking generally a coach, because a lot of players are part of the coaching system in the BUCs, and some of them actually even play. But there'll be many that are part of their teams and integral parts of the team, particularly if they're coaches. And unfortunately, with that not being a bye week, there are games that have to be played that week. So, and it's difficult. But that was just something I found interesting. Is that like
so what are you saying? So what are you saying? What are you actually saying? We should have a mandatory bye week for every team? Or what are you trying to say?
I think that just makes sense, because it's the national program playing an international game, and the pool is university players, but it's also the coaches are part of the university setup, and it can leave certain teams at a disadvantage, because like any team that's got a bye week that weekend, irrespective of whether they have players going out there or not going out there, have a benefit, because like the national program is playing. And even if it's the case, just in order to feed towards the sport, to have more people watching the sport, more people engage with the national program, I just think it's important. And my understanding is, well, I can only think of football, but I assume it goes to quite a few sports. So that like when there are international games, there are no at least top tier division games. So.
Do you think that could potentially have any impact elsewhere, or do you think there's a reason why BUCs might not allow that?
I don't know what the reason is, and no doubt they put in work to create a schedule, and I don't try and fault that effort. It's part of the process, and maybe in the future when they look to do this again, it might be something that they put into consideration, maybe just past their mind. But it's part of life, and life, like, it's very hard to make it even for everybody. You roll with it, you go on, and fundamentally it's a long season. You know, no one can cry wolf about one game being the death of their season. So, but I just think it's like the top tier level of the game, or at BUCs anyway. It should be for consideration. That's the only thing. So
I feel like I can hear Tonye scribbling this down really quickly right now.
I know. Yeah.
He's actually just commented on it actually now.
Yeah, he just commented. Yeah. So shout out Tonye. Tonye is our, what's Tonye's role again? Tonye, forgive me.
He's the BUCs coordinator. He's the BUCs coordinator. So Tonye Dokubo says, completely fair point. It's always a struggle fitting in the amount of games we have within scheduled weeks we have at BUCs. That's actually a good point. I think the scheduling, as you probably would agree, you all would agree, is a big problem, I think, within BUCs. And I think the turnaround is really quick from freshers fair to the first game for most teams across the country. You know, is there? Would you agree? Maybe playing the season, maybe starting later, and maybe playing into more of the new year, the next year. Is there a solution for this scheduling problem, or it's a difficult challenge, and there's always going to be someone that has an annoyance with the schedule, just by the nature of it and the number of teams. For like with us, for example, and I'm not saying this as a complaint. I'm just saying that this is what it is. Like with us, we're front loaded this season. Like we have vast majority of our games before Christmas, and then a few afterwards.
7 before Christmas, I think.
Yeah, it could be 6 or 7. So basically, all our games are before Christmas, and that's just the nature of the scheduling. But that can have its own issues in terms of the fact that, like, with it being the case where you are bringing people into the program, if you have a split fee structure or you have a single fee structure, people tend to, although this isn't the case, and I'm almost certain at any program, like, what you're paying for is not the games. That's not what you pay for to be part of the program. Often that might be what people see it. So with it being so heavy loaded one side, that can be something that you have to overcome when you're trying to recruit people. But like in terms of moving the schedule backwards and further into New Year, we already finished in March. The adult season basically starts mid to end of April. There isn't much leeway. Like if you're and there is a lot of crossover between people who are involved in the university game that are involved in the adult game.
Yeah.
So it's not the case that you can just go bluntly move it further down the line, because it will have far-reaching consequences. So, as I said, it's a tough thing, and fundamentally, like I don't envy the person that has to do it, and all they can do is say, this is what it is, this is what our logic has been, and there's very rarely times where there's one way of doing it or an optimal way that can be done with the resources you have. But if someone says, oh, this is what I've done, I've given you good notice, this is the logic behind it, regardless of whether you agree or don't agree with it, at least you can see what the process was that they followed. And if it makes sense, I can live with it, because it's part of life. Like, very rarely in life are things perfect.
Yeah. That's dope. Shout out to Tony again. Tony says, unlike most other sports, we give American football skills weeks. This further reduces the amount of weeks we have available. And yeah, that's right. I think that's probably the biggest thing. I think the crossover between BUCs and Britball is short, and like I said, a lot of players have involvement in both leagues, so it gets a bit sticky and techy. So, you know, we like to throw a few curveballs in here, because you guys are moving like this is the Birmingham Lions podcast, when it's actually the SJ and the Mecca show. So I'm going to put this to you. Cap of the day, because we're bringing back this cap of the day. So I'm going to ask all of you this question, actually. A natty can be won with rookies. We all know that you get an influx of freshers and you get people who graduate. Do you think a team can win a national championship with rookies?
I'll let the players answer that first. I've been talking a lot.
Okay. Nelly for Prime Minister. Hashtag Nelly for Nelly PM. Nelly for PM. That's what I'm going to be saying all day. Nelly for Prime Minister. Move on. Okay, go on.
Are we talking a full team of rookies? Like
full team. No scholars.
I don't want to say no, but it would be hard. It would be really, really hard. With like no prior experience. I think that's it'll be the same with all programs. So you get these rookies in who have never played before, but you look up to the like second, third, fourth years who have experience, have been playing for however long, and like you don't just learn from the coaches within a program. It's the players above you as well. You can ask them questions, see how they play. So I think to have a full team of rookies, I mean, yeah, you'd be asking a lot. I think.
Emily?
I think it massively depends on the coaching staff and kind of how long they get to learn it, and kind of if they have a background of even an understanding of American football. I feel like coming in as a rookie, if you know how the game works, you're going to be better off than if you don't even know what American football is. But I think it'd be hard, especially who they're playing. Like, that makes a big difference, isn't it? If they're going to play a game, the opposition being full scholars, they're never going to win. But yeah, you never know. They might be amazing.
Aaron, President Aaron, what are you saying?
I'm saying yes.
100%.
Yeah, sheer facts is, for example, a lot of the games you played last season, and this is just like, again, it's like we've said about coaching. It kind of comes down to like a lot of different factors, coaching, mentality. But a lot of the games you played last season, our defense, like I look around and like I was playing with rookies. Everyone was a rookie around me, and yet here we are, we're doing what we're doing last season. And so I don't really, like it will be hard and like all of these things, but can it be done? Yes, I think that answers that question.
So before I get to you, Nelly, I just want to ask you, Aaron. So as president, what's your 5 point? Why did they vote for you? And not only that, what is your plan? What are you trying to bring different from the previous president? You know, you're trying to bring Gatorade bottles to the games. I mean, just as simple as that. What are you trying to do differently that other presidents haven't done? Is there anything that you're trying to change or do differently?
I mean, firstly, I don't know why people voted for me. That's how I can answer that. I wasn't one of them. But as far as like what I'm trying to do, part of the reason I chose to like stand forward is because I saw that things needed to be done. Even in just like when we're considering the culture of the team, how we see the culture of the team. Like Birmingham Lions is the greatest culture. Well, I can't say the greatest. I can't compare it. Like he's a really great culture, and like us trying to safeguard that, I decided I want to do something about that. So that's the most important thing to me, is safeguarding that culture, and then also not having that light under a bushel. We're going to make some more noise because we have to. But like when something is this good, this great, you can't just be quiet about it. So that's in a nutshell. That's the goal that I have.
We definitely heard. For you, what does it mean? What do you mean by adorned by all? Because we're seeing that a lot in some of your posts, and that Coach Nelly's not allowed to speak. What does adorned by all mean for the people that don't understand? What does that mean to the Birmingham Lions?
Okay, what does it mean to the Birmingham Lions? That's different, because as far as like what it means to the people who don't understand, I guess the idea is that adorned by all, you will soon understand. Like that's for other people, but within, that's the mentality that we have to hold. I feel like you can only really, you have to have like some kind of self-confidence, self-belief, the way you view yourself. That has to be internal before it becomes external. So for me and for like the program internally, that's what we're talking about when saying adorned by all.
So President Aaron, 2 games, Filton and UWE. What's the outcome? What are the outcomes? Listen, you said it. You told me just now. You have to have self-confidence. Tell the people there's currently 40 people viewing this right now. Tell me now, the game against Filton and the Brum game against Filton and the Brum games against UWE. What's the outcome?
I mean, first of all, if I was a fortune teller, I would use these skills. However, I mean, if I'm being asked, we have one job, and that's doesn't change. We go to the game, we hunt. That's what's gonna happen. The outcome is probably gonna be favorable, but that just comes down to us at the end of the day. That's within our own power. It's our own decision. So yeah.
Coach Nelly, you got these guys media trained. I don't know. I don't know. Shout out Coach Scott, because I know Coach Scott has had an influence on you. I've been trying to get Coach Scott's attention. I don't even like orange. I'm going to put it out there. I don't like orange. Orange is actually just generally, before I knew about the Tamworth Phoenix, orange is actually not one of my favorite colors. So me wearing this hat, I'm trying to get Coach Scott's attention, and I will get it. But Coach, to you, just your understanding of the cap of the day. Do you think you can win it with rookies?
Do I believe that you could win a national championship with rookies in BUCs? Yes, I do believe. Do I think it'll be easy? No. But fundamentally, do I believe you could win a national championship with rookies? Yes, I do believe. I think one of the most difficult things would be, in order to, they'd have to be a certain type of rookie. They'd have to be mentally strong. They'd have to have the attributes I highlighted before. But they'd have to be definitely mentally strong, because it'll be tough, particularly in the first games. If their spirit's broken in the first few games, it could be difficult. Because fundamentally, it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. And it's a long season. Like, it doesn't matter if you lose the first 2 games. If you win the next 6, you get into playoffs and you win each game that matters. That's what matters. It's not about necessarily being unbeaten for the. You can go 4-4 if you get into playoffs and you then run the gauntlet. That's what matters. So it's about where you finish, not where you start. And in terms of with rookies, I think that the hardest part, as some of them have highlighted, is definitely it'll be like, how well they're coached and the way in which they're taught to be coached. It depends. If they're coached in order to understand these are the tools of the game, understand what your skill set strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and then pick the correct tool for the correct situation, yes, they have a fighting chance. If they're taught based on the fact that, oh, this is your talent, do this and you will win, when that doesn't work because they can't get someone that's either got that talent or knows how to deal with it, that would be a problem. But to cut a long story short, can it be one of rookies? Yes, I think it'll be extremely difficult, and it'll be very tough in the current climate where a vast majority of coaches are volunteers, because you'd have to dedicate a lot of time to breaking down, helping them understand the game, coaching them in the game in order to do so. And just to talk about, like, briefly what you highlighted about Coach Jason having a big influence on me. Yes, he has had a big influence on me, but there have been other coaches that have had a big influence on me also. Like Coach Jason's been my head coach now for probably I want to say 3-4 years. I might be wrong. He could correct me. But I've also had Martin Hilton as my coach, and he's also been a very big guiding principle in some of my philosophies and my views to this game. And there have been countless numbers of individual coaches that have helped guide me. So although Jason has been a strong influence, there are many others that deserve a shout out here. And I'm sure Jason's a busy man, as you know. Like Jason will get to you in good time, but he's a busy man. So
yeah, I hear you. So you've had you're an intelligent guy. You're a really intelligent guy. You're one of the students of the game. Yeah. And I've spoken to you a countless amount of times, and you actually live football. Yeah. You could have gone anywhere else. You could have gone to any other team. You could have coached at any other team in the Prem and been successful. So why Birmingham? I want to ask you. Keep it real. Don't give me none of that PM answer. Keep it down and raw, and tell these guys, why did you choose Birmingham?
Why did I initially choose Birmingham? I initially chose Birmingham because the initial reason I chose Birmingham was partly because I had now moved into living in Birmingham, and it was a close program that gave me an opportunity to interact with new people and to coach down there. Why did I stay with Birmingham? Because of the people I've met at Birmingham, the culture that I've seen at Birmingham, the players and how they feed back to me, and the way in which I can see people are committed to the program. Even some of the coaches that have now left. That's why I've stayed. Why did I initially join? Arguably because it's an opportunity to coach at a top tier program that was a better commute for me than the program I'd been at. And it was even at that, it was a tough decision. Like I can 100% say that, like, generally, if I had like, the initial conversation I had with the previous head coach and they hadn't let me be defensive coordinator or given me that opportunity, I would arguably still be at the previous program I was at. I would arguably still be there. So it's the fact that, like, they were willing to take me on, someone that arguably had no experience, listened to my viewpoint and gave me an opportunity. And then once I became part of the program, seeing the coach, seeing how the players interact, seeing their willingness to learn, seeing their willingness to push, the fact that they're appreciative of the work that's being put out here, that's what's made me stay, to be honest.
Brilliant. So we're down to our 2 minute jobs. We wrap up. This has been an amazing show. Shout out everyone in the free seat. Shout out to all those people who left comments. We hear you. Like I said, always like, share, subscribe on all things Exs and Os. Coach Nelly, we're going to wrap it up, okay, with the final question of the day. So you're in the finals. I want you to vision this. You're in the finals of the BUCs Prem finals, and your team loses by 2 points. Yeah, so you've lost by 2 points in the last 5 seconds, the dying seconds of the game, and you lose by 2 points.
Yes.
The other team, the opposing team, gets their ugly flag and stamps the flag. You're at your home ground and stamps the flag in the middle of the pitch. What are you saying?
What am I personally saying? Well, first and foremost, I'd have to try and make sure that I keep my players calm, because it's not that deep. Fundamentally, we could have avoided this if we lost. And respectful, personally, I just think that it's not necessary to do that. You can celebrate and enjoy, but it's not necessary to do that. At the end of the day, we had 4 quarters to stop this having any opportunity of happening. It's now happened. As long as if they're doing it and they're getting caught up in the moment and they've just done it, fair enough. If they try and do it and they're now trying to make it antagonize it towards the team, that's where I would then have a problem with it. But it's a case where, they've seen something on the NFL, let me go do it, cool, whatever. Like, we had 4 quarters to stop them. We didn't stop them. It's the final. They decided this is what they want to do. Whether how distasteful it is, in my eyes, vary. But that wouldn't be my major concern, because someone's dumped a flag in the middle of the field, to be honest.
Cool.
But I would be concerned that my players get riled up by it. That could be an issue.
Yeah, what's that? Thank you, guys. This has been episode 3 of Bucking Around, powered by Exs and Os. Nelly, Emily, Noah, and Aaron, appreciate you so much. Really appreciate you coming on the show and showing your support. We wish you, from the Exs and Os to the bottom of our hearts, we know you're like family to us. We wish you all the best for this season. Like I said, please don't be strangers. Yeah, we're trying to get down to Exs and Os to explosion again. So, like I said, if you want us to do the thing, just you know what to do. Sign that contract. Yeah,
we're always happy to host you guys. We're always happy to host you guys as long as the terms are favorable. We're always happy to host you guys. So it's not a problem. But speaking from me and all the members of the program, we're very appreciative for the opportunity you've given us to come onto your program, and we won't be strangers. Don't be strangers yourselves, and appreciate the work that you guys put in.
Appreciate the love, guys.
Most definitely. Thank you. Peace and love. Like I said, everyone in the free seats, all the fans, people supporting us, we thank you. Like I said, keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. Like I said, subscribe to all things on our YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. We're on LinkedIn as well. Reach out to us. And for any teams that want to, in BUCs, whether you're in BUCs Div 1, Div 2, like I said, please reach out to us. We're more than welcome to have you on our show. We're more than welcome to promote your programs on our show and just have a chat. Like I said, we want to know what you do. You want to know what we do, and everyone else wants to know what you do deep down because they're trying to scout you from our podcast for some reason. But yeah, like I said, reach out to us. Let's get it cracking. Peace.
Cheers. Thank you.